Welcome to the second vlog. It's been 2 weeks since I concluded the last vlog, and yeah, just a short wrap up of what happened in those 2 weeks. So first of all, I edited my last vlog, and it took me 23 hours or so from pulling in the first video into Premiere until the upload of the video on YouTube. But I also learned like the basics of how to use this program, and so this will certainly decrease in the future. Concerning my master's thesis, I concluded the data taking, and I started the first pre-analysis of the data, and I also continued writing. I continued writing because I already started while taking the data, and this is a strategy that I would recommend to everyone. So I had my materials and methods down already after the first couple of colonies that I tested. The materials and methods are a description of what you do in your experiments exactly, like to the detail, so that others can see whether it made sense what you did, and if they wanted to, they could also repeat your experiment and see whether they get the same data. Writing your materials and methods already while you are doing the actual experiments or before that is good for two reasons. So the first one is that you still really know what you're doing, and if you write it up 2 or 3 months later, you probably don't know what you were doing. And secondly, you make yourself accountable for what you do, and you make yourself stick to the methods that you thought up, because it is important to do all the trials of one experiment the same way so that they are comparable among each other. And if you wanted to change... My father was still alive, hip-hop hit my heart, and I started to feel the vibe. I'd listen and I spit rhymes too damn correct. I can't forget my doggy style and my Wu-Tang cassette. See, I was only 10, holding the pen, hoping to find schemes, rhyming over and over again. At 13, I had a crew, we flow and hang out, and that's how I started rapping with the homie Bang Cow. I have been slacklining since 2011. Wow, 6 years, like on and off. And most of what I have shown you right now would do after 2 years already. So I'm on a plateau sort of. But maybe if I stick to it, if I find a teacher, I can improve this and maybe do backflips one time, and like butt bounces and stuff. That would be really cool. Alright, what else did I do in the last 2 weeks? The most important thing that I did was writing my introduction. So I started that around the time when I filmed the last vlog, to clear that up. My thesis is structured like a research paper or research article, and they always have the same structure of, a title, abstract, which is a short summary sort of, then the introduction, and then there's the methods. After the methods there is the results section, where you present your results in figures and tables and with a little text to fill it out. And the last part is the discussion, in which you sort of bring your results into the context of a bigger meaning and why they are interesting. So because I already have the data but I didn't analyze it yet, I cannot write the results in the discussion, so I have to write the introduction, and that's what I did in the last 2 weeks, and I'm almost finished. Yeah, in the next days I will still finish the introduction, and then tomorrow actually I will meet with Flavio, my supervisor, to talk about my results and what we can get out of it, but I will tell you more about that tomorrow. What I have to do now for writing my introduction is first think of a sensible way to lead the reader to my topic and explain why it is interesting. And this is also the part where the procrastination comes in, or even the writer's block, because you as a scientist suffer from this curse of knowledge. The curse of knowledge is when you are so deep into a topic and you know so much about it that you can't imagine how it is for somebody who doesn't have this knowledge. What does a naive person, an outstander, know about the topic, and how can you explain it to him? When I talk to other people, to lay people, they sometimes say, okay, I got a stupid question. What follows is not a stupid question, but it's a basic question that I did not provide any information on because I thought it's natural that you would know it. But that's of course my mistake then for not having explained the very basics. But first, to continue what I was actually talking about, the second thing I have to do for my introduction is to find out what is out there in the literature, so what others have found out about leaf cutting ants and the avoidance and all that stuff, to give an overview. And I have already started with that, of course, long before I have started with my experiments, just to get an insight into what has been done already and how people did this and what are actually interesting questions to ask in the first place. But still, this is a very time-intense thing to do. Yeah, you just have to read a lot and a lot of papers. So actually, the job of an academic is more to read and write than to do experiments or doing data analysis or so.
He went his way and I went mine. He switched to turntablism, I perfected my rhyme. A decade later we met again and said, what up? We got to get together and tear the stage the fuck up.
Good morning, it's beautiful weather again. And I'm on my way to uni to meet up with Flavio, as I told you. From there on we're gonna see how this project develops and what we can get out of the data. See you then. This is the ring park of Würzburg, which is an arboretum, just like the campus of the University of Arizona. And that means that here are a lot of trees, like exotic trees, and it's basically like a botanical garden for trees. So it's pretty cool to walk around and see trees from Asia, Southern America, and even sequoias. 2 bus rides and 15 minutes later I arrived at uni, and usually I either listen to an audiobook or actually do some work, so like reading a paper while I'm on the bus. I've heard of a study that says basically the only factor that impacts your life negatively over longer time periods is if you have to commute more than 15 minutes per day. And I found that to be true until I learned to use the time effectively. And so yeah, now I'm actually looking forward to the bus rides. Apparently it's voting day today for the, I don't know, and I have never voted before, shame on me. But I also don't really know what or who to vote. Okay, that meeting was a success. Even though I didn't really get the revelation, I now know, sorry for being shaky, know a little more what to focus on, and I will make a plan of what to do next and how to organize the data and my ideas that I want to convey in the thesis until next week, and then yeah, we'll see again. Yeah, we're on our way to the Mensa. A friend of mine
and Laura
and me, and to chat a little.
Back to the lab again, yo.
After having lunch, we still talked for hours, and now it is almost 5:30. But I'm somehow pretty exhausted, so I'm gonna take a nap outside at the bio pond, and then in a little less than an hour already I have my first sport course for the day, which is acrobatics, and afterwards I also go to trampoline. It's unfortunate that they are both at the same day, but what are you gonna do? So I just came back from the first sports course, acrobatics. It was awesome, but even more awesome is what I found here. A raid of Polyergus rufescens, a slave-making ant. You see these extra fast running ants like these ones. That is the slave-making ant. and they are raiding the nest, the colony of these Formica rufibarbis ants, and they go into the nest and take all the brood out of it. Like here are the cocoons. And then they take it to their own nest, and then some time later the brood hatches, and then they become their slaves. And the Formica, of course, want to defend themselves, but they can't really, because the Polyergus are so adapted to that lifestyle that they have special mandibles and they're really aggressive. And so, yeah, this means that the Polyergus can accumulate a lot of more brood, and this brood, or these workers that hatch from the brood, can then work for these ants. They're really cool. Okay, so this is the nest of the slaves, the poor Formica, and watch this. This is like a raid of army ants. Never seen something like that before. And there we go. So that are a solid like 50 meters or more. Pretty impressive. Maybe you can see the mandibles that are like, oh yeah, they're not shaped like usual ant mandibles, but more like daggers. So they don't have any teeth, they're not serrated, and they can basically not do anything else. Like they can't really dig chambers out that well or do other stuff with that. But they can really well pierce through the skin, like the exoskeleton of their slaves, and yeah, kill all the guard ants that are there in the slave colony. I've seen an ant of this species before, even though I was looking for ants for like 2 or 3 years, because the Polyergus just don't come out unless they go raiding. So you think, yeah, you know, it's a Formica rufibarbis nest, well, while in fact they are just the slaves of the Polyergus that are waiting inside the nest. I'm pretty amazed. This is a good day. It's 10 in the evening. I just got out of trampoline. It was also a success. I didn't get injured, which is always a success. And I learned the backflip. Yay! When I get home, it will be 11:30. So tomorrow I will probably get up a little later than usual. Yeah, that was my day. A very exciting day.
About enterprising or dough making, but we want to say thanks to you folks for donating.
Good morning. I just got up. It's shortly past 9, which is an hour later than I usually get up. What I did so far with the data is I took the raw data that are these data of yeses and nos, of roses and firethorns, and I put them together in a meta file, and then I have them all in this one grid. And then I also have these preliminary graphs that tell me what the general picture is, and now I took these together into a nice concise table to have them all together so that I could make these graphs out of them, and they tell me a little more, so I couldn't do that with Excel. And now what I have to do when the installation is completed is I have to do some statistics on them.
He's the order reviews and dope ratings for those that bang they skull to this till they don't again. Thanks to y'all, we gon' keep feasting off MC, and we gon' keep performing, beat making, beasting for a reason. Peace to all you people, Eastern European, Swedish or Norwegian, Aussie, Asian, even North Korean. France, Germany, US and the UK, Africa, Mexico, and even kids from Uruguay. Chill out and bump this, cause this is a new day. And haters, we couldn't give a shit about what you say.
It's already Friday, and yep, this was about time. I didn't record anything in the last 2 days because they were pretty much the same as the days before and nothing really interesting happened. Except for today, when I found a turtle in our garden, just randomly, but yeah, now it's gone, and I was late for the bus, so I thought I didn't have the 10 seconds to record this, but yeah, whatever. Now I'm on my way to seeing ambulance. No. My friend that you saw a few minutes ago, who I had lunch with, in a theater that she is playing in. That's gonna be it. Yeah.
Wer sind denn Sie? Der Hausrat. Man muss zuerst die Polizei verständigen. Ich liege im Sterben. Ein Todesfall ist eine amtliche Angelegenheit.
So deep, so smooth. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. The kids to rock the house for you.